So once you're ready, we're gonna bring our knees up into tabletop. So knees up are gonna go directly above your hips. And we're just gonna start off with a few mini crunches here. So lift your head up off the mat, bring your arms behind your head. And we're just gonna 2 inches up, crunch toward our knees, and then lower it down. The legs are just straight up, toes are pointed. Just a little crunch up and lower. Gazes forward towards your lower stomach. We'll go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up here on the last one, and we're just gonna do tiny little pulses, 1 inch up. So lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten your legs out to 45 degrees. Put your arms hovering over the mat out straight, and we're gonna bring our knees into our chest, stretch them in, and then extend out long. So head, neck, and shoulders are still up off the mat. Gazes forward. We're just gonna bring our knees in and out. For 6, 5, 4, press your legs straight together. 3, 2, and 1. This time, hold it out. Separate your toes out just so that your heels are pressed together here. Toes are outwardly rotated to the side. We're gonna bring our knees back again toward our shoulders. So your knees are out separated, and then extend them out long. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower those legs down, lower your head down. We'll give our neck a little bit of a break. Knees are still bent. Feet are flat down on the mat. We're gonna lift our hips up into a bridge. So peel your hips up off the mat, lift them all the way up so that you feel a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. And then slowly lower them all the way down. Kind of roll it down vertebra by vertebra, and then lift them back up and slowly lower down. Just nice, slowly warming up your hips. We'll do 4 more like this. And lower. 3. And lower. 2. And 1. Leave your hips up here. Lift them up a little bit higher, as high as you can go. Lift that right leg up and straighten it up toward the ceiling. And tiny little hip pulses up. So point your toe up as straight as you can. And little pulses for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Lift your hips up a little bit higher in that bridge. And lift the left leg up. Straighten it up long. And pulse it up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knee, lower your foot down. Keep the bridge for 1 more minute. We're gonna do one more thing here. Again, lift your hips up a little bit higher if you can. And we're just going to drop down that right hip, tap the right hip down onto the mat, and then lift it back up. And then lower down that left hip. So just kind of slightly rotating your hips to the sides as you just drop one hip at a time, and then stretch it straight back up to the center. Lower and lift for 4, 3, lower and lift, 2, and 1, and slowly lower your hips all the way down. And you can pull your knees into your chest here for just a little quick stretch on your hips. And we're gonna finish out our warm-up with the hundreds, which I normally do. So you can either here keep your legs up into tabletop here, you can keep them bent, you can stretch them straight up long, or you can bring them out to 45 degrees. Press your heels together, bring your hands out, hovering over the mat, just like we did before. Straighten your legs. If your legs are straight, keep them straight and long. Gaze is out forward towards your lower stomach and start to pump your arms. And we're gonna inhale for 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. And inhale, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. And inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale for 4. Exhale. Inhale for 3. And exhale. Inhale for 2. See if you can lift up a little bit higher. Exhale. Inhale for 1. And exhale. And lower everything down. Again, you can pull your knees into your chest. Take a nice few breaths. Now we're gonna start off the next section. Once you're ready, you can extend your legs out long, just lay flat. We're gonna transition with a roll up. So we're gonna do a few of these just to also get a nice stretch on our lower back here. So bring your arms out long overhead. Legs are out long in front of you, separated just about hip width apart. And what we're going to do is bring our arms all the way overhead toward our hips. Then we're going to peel up to a seated position. So bring your chin to your chest and exhale as you peel yourself up to seated. Inhale as you sit up tall, stack your spine, and then we're going to exhale and stretch forward and reach toward our toes. And just feel a really nice stretch there in the backs of your legs. Slowly roll back up to a seated position. Tuck your tailbone and slowly roll all the way down, nice and with control, until you're just laying back flat again. And we'll just do that 2 more times to get a nice few stretches in. So arms come overhead. Inhale here. Chin to chest. Exhale as you peel yourself up to seated. Slowly. Pause at the top. Stack your spine. Sit tall. Inhale here. And then exhale as you reach forward toward your toes. And roll back up to seated. Tuck your tailbone, slowly roll all the way back down. And one more time, arms overhead. Inhale here, chin to chest. Exhale as you peel up. Try to keep your legs down if you can. Stack your spine up at the top. And exhale again to reach forward. And feel a really nice stretch here. Pull yourself as far down as you can. And slowly lower all the way back down. And then what we're gonna do next here is we'll start off with our right leg. So bring your right leg up into tabletop here. You can point your toe just to keep it strong. What we're gonna do is just sort of just crunch over to the right side. So that right hand can stay down. Left arm is gonna come behind our head. So sort of rest your head in your hand here And we're just gonna lift up and twist toward the right side. So twist, aiming your left underarm toward your right knee. So it's just gonna be a little side crunch and lower. Lift and lower. You can hover that left leg a little bit off the mat if you'd like, if you feel control there. If not, you can just rest it down. So it's not a huge range of motion. You should just feel that little twist, not even really lowering all the way down to your shoulder blade. We'll go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, lower that leg down long, extend it. Left leg comes up, knees bent. Bring your right hand up behind your head and crunch over to the left and lower. Crunch and lower. Again, you can hover that right leg, only if it feels good to you. Otherwise, rest it down. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Bring both hands behind your head now. You can clasp your fingers. Both legs are going to come up long into 45 degrees here. And we're just going to do little crunches up, just about 2 inches up toward your toes. Lift and lower for 10, 9, 8, 7. Make sure to breathe. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your legs down. Keep your head up if you can. Sort of rest your head in your palms behind you. And then we're going to do tiny little crunches here with our legs straight down on the mat out in front of you. Sorry, just knocked out my AirPod. So again, hands behind your head, little crunches up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up, and we're just going to rotate our shoulders over to the left. So it's just going to be a little circles going up. So it's a little lift, not a ton of movement. Circle to the left for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up here and reverse direction. Circle over to the right. Arms should be out wide. You don't want to see your elbows here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Take a nice quick breath. Those are always kind of killer. And then next thing here, we're going to keep our head down for this part. We're going to keep our arms down too. Arms are going to go a little bit out to kind of a diagonal here, not all the way out to the sides, but not all the way at our sides. So have them out to a diagonal, and you're going to want to kind of push into the floor for a little bit of balance. And we're going to straighten our legs out into kind of like a V shape. And we're going to circle our legs. They're not going to be huge circles, but we're going to rotate them out, keeping that V shape. And it's just going to be little leg circles. Keep your core tight here to keep the rest of your body totally stable, so that it's really your core that's working here. And just small little circles rotating outwards. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And reverse direction. So now little circles going inward. And again, keep that lower back pressed down into the mat. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your legs up here. Head, neck, and shoulders are gonna come up. Legs are gonna come straight up long. Point your toes. Arms are gonna come down. We're gonna lower those legs down, press them together, lower them down to about 45 degrees, and lift them back up together. And lower. Inhale as you lower, and exhale to lift up. For 3, and lift. 2, and lift. And 1, and lift. Bend your knees into your chest and lower them down. Next, we're gonna do just kind of a standard crisscross, which is just like a bicycle crunch. So hands are gonna come behind your head here. One knee is gonna come into your chest. The other one is going to stretch out long to 45 degrees. And we're just gonna twist over towards that right knee and switch over to the opposite side. And twist and switch. Switch and switch. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower it down. Take a nice breath. A few more things here in this series, but we're actually going to come up now into a seated position. We're going to lower down onto our elbows. So you're going to bring your elbows down onto the mat, and you're going to be leaning a little bit back. So kind of sits bones are down on the mat here. First, we're going to bring our knees up and into our chest. This should feel kind of comfortable. You're just kind of resting down on your elbows. Stretch your knees as close into your chest as you can. Point your toes, and then we're just going to stretch them out long to 45. And bring our knees into our chest and extend. Again, keep that core pulled in, keep it tight here. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to bring our knees up into tabletop here, out in front of us. So bring them straight up. Knees are going to be directly over your hips. We're just going to slowly lower down one leg, tap your toe down into the mat, and then lift it back up. And then bring the opposite leg down. Just quickly tap your toe down and lift it up. Lower and lift. Again, you really want to pull your core in here. That's pretty much mostly what's working. Keep the rest of your body totally still. For 3, 2, and 1. 2 more things here. We're going to stretch our legs out long again, and we're just going to crisscross them one over the other and switch. Nice and slow, cross and switch and switch and switch. Remember to take some big exhales here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep those legs out long if you can. Last thing we're going to do here is we're going to release our arms. We're going to lower down into a position where you're just kind of balancing on your sit bones. So we're just going to lower down here as low as you can. The lower your legs come, the more challenging it's going to be for your core. And we're just going to hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release everything down. Take a nice deep breath. We're going to take a little stretch here just to stretch out our hip flexors after those last few moves. So if it feels good, pull your knees into your chest in here one more time. Stretch that right leg out long and take your left knee and pull it over, just stretching that over to the right side. Reach your left arm out long and gazes toward the left. And switch, bring that right leg in, left leg extends out long, cross the right knee over, and reach over out to the right side. And just take one more nice breath here before we move on. Next, we're gonna come over to hands and knees. So once you're ready, we're gonna flip over into a position here, right on our hands and knees. Make sure that your wrists are directly below your shoulders here, and knees are gonna be directly below your hips. And you could just take a few cat-cow stretches here. Breathe in and sink your lower back down. And exhale. Gonna make sure this still looks okay. It's getting a little sunny out here. All right. Take one more breath here. And once you're ready, we're gonna tuck those feet under so that you can lift your knees about an inch off the mat into kind of a little bear plank pose here. And what we're gonna do is step out into a full plank and step in back to just hovering those knees over 1 inch. So we're gonna step out and in, out and in for 4, 3, core is nice and tight. 2, make sure you're not shifting forward or back. You want to keep your shoulders still right over your wrist here. And after you finish that last one, just come out to a full plank again. Feel yourself in this nice perfect position. Lower your hips down so that you feel that straight line from your shoulders to your toes. Left down. And we're gonna lift one arm here up into kind of like a half side plank where you're just gonna lift it up so that you're just about a little bit rotated and then lower it down. And then switch to the other side. Lift it up and lower it down. So keep that core tight and pulled in, nice and controlled here. And lift and lower for 3, 2, and 1. And lower it down. Last thing we're gonna do here in this plank position, we're gonna move into a full side plank now. So you're gonna lift your left leg and it's gonna snake through, come across underneath your right leg. And we're just gonna open up into a full side plank. Lower that hand all the way down and uncross those legs. And then lift the right leg up, cross it underneath and open up to that full side plank, reach up and lower. And we'll go for 2 more on each side. Cross, open, lower, uncross. One more, cross, open, lower, and cross, open, lower, and uncross. Lower those knees down. And you can separate your knees out to the width of your mat. Sink back into a nice child's pose position. Take another quick breath. And once you're ready, we're going to be back on our hands and knees here. So again, get yourself in this position here. And we're just going to lift, start off on the right leg. So we're going to lift it straight out back behind us. Nice and straight. Point your toe. Make sure that your back isn't too arched here. So you want to keep a flat back, core is tight. And we're just going to do little lifts, just little pulses, straight and back. Lift and lower. Nice and simple. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up here. Bend that knee out back behind you. Flex the foot out and little lifts up. Lift. Just a tiny pulse. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now leaving that foot up, actually you could bring the knee down. We're gonna lower down to our left elbow. And so here we're going to be on that left elbow and left knee. Hold on one second. Truck just drove by, I don't know if that was loud or not. So we're gonna be on that left elbow down and right hand is gonna come up to the ceiling. And what we've done before, if you've taken my class, is we do these kind of little fire hydrant lifts with that right knee, but we're gonna open up. So our right hand is gonna be up to the ceiling and you're gonna lift that knee up to about the height of your hips and lower. Lift and lower. So our hips are open here since our arm is up. Lift and lower. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that knee down, lower that arm down. Palm is still down on the right hand, on the right side, and elbow is still down on the left. We're gonna keep that knee up. Knee is gonna come straight in front of us toward our right elbow, and then we're gonna stretch it back out long and pulse it up. So bend it over toward your elbow and straighten behind and lift. And lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep it out long here. Lower down to both of those elbows. Hands are pressing out down into the mat in front of you. Point your toe, and again, little lifts up here. Just a tiny pulse, lift, up, and up. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it up a little bit higher and tiny circles to the right for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch direction for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower that knee down and sink back into a quick child's pose. I know I always do them and they're terrible at the end, but they feel so good after. And now we're just gonna repeat all of that on the opposite side. So I'm gonna turn over so you can see better. How you feel? Good. Okay. So back using that left leg now. Same as before, we're in a hands and knees position. Left leg is gonna come out straight. Point your toe and little lift up and up. Lift. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted here. Bend that knee, flex your foot, and little lift up here. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down that right elbow. Left hand, lower down that knee also. Left hand is going to come up, stretch it up long. And then that left leg is going to pulse up into that fire hydrant move again. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that hand down. So left palm is down on the mat, right elbow is still down. Lift and bring your left knee to your left elbow, and then straighten it out, stretch it out behind, and little lift. Knee stretches forward to elbow, extend long, and lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, lower both elbows down here. Hands are gonna come out, pressing down into the mat in front of you. Bring that leg back straight, toe is pointed, and again, little pulses up and up. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can lift it up a little bit higher, 2 inches higher. Tiny circles to the right for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch direction for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower it down. Sink back into a nice stretch. Take a nice deep breath here. Couple more things. Once you're ready, we're going to come on to our side now. So move on to your right side. Right hip is going to be down. And you can lower down to that elbow, or you can lay it all the way down. Opposite hand is going to press down into the mat in front of you. So legs are out straight and about the center of the mat. We're going to lift that top leg up. We're going to lower it down to about the front corner of the mat. So it's going to come down in front of your lower leg and then lift. And we're just going to kind of rainbow it over it and lower it down behind. So lift and lower, lift and lower. Lift and lower. For 6, 5, good. You don't have to come up too high. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're gonna keep that leg up here. We're gonna bend our knee. We're gonna kind of do something similar, but we're just gonna bend our knee, bring it over in front, tap your knee down in front of your other one, and then we're gonna bring it back and tap your toe down behind. So it's just gonna kind of rainbow over, tap that knee, and then lower the toe back behind. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And stretch it out. Legs are going to be pressed together now, and you are going to want to really push down on this lifted hand for support here. We're going to lift both of our legs up together, balance on our hip, and lower them down. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Keep that top leg lifted here, and we're just going to lower the bottom one down and lift it up to meet the top. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Core is really tight here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower them both down. And we're going to switch over to the opposite side. So lower down onto that left hip. And we're going to do the same thing here. You want your legs straight out in the center of the mat here. Lift that top leg and lower it down, cross in front, tap it down, lift and lower, tap it down behind. Lift and lower. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower it down here. Now we're going to do the same thing, except bend that knee. And we're going to lower that knee, tap down in front, lift, and tap your toe down behind. Again, want to keep your hips totally still here and just keep that leg moving. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And legs come together, straight out long. Again, you're going to want to push your hands down for support here. We're going to lift both legs up and lower them down. Lift and lower, legs are pressed together, balancing on that left hip here. Sometimes one side is a little bit easier than the other, so lift and lower. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, keep that top leg lifted, and lower leg is going to come up to meet it, and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and lower it all down. You can stretch that knee out in front of you, just for a nice stretch on your glute here. And we're gonna finish up with some quick arms. So we're gonna come back into a hands and knees position here. We're gonna do some tricep push-ups first. So I prefer to be on my knees here, and I think that you get a little bit of better tricep work if you leave your knees down. So you can keep your heels and feet lifted and just balance on those knees here. But hands are gonna come, again, wrist directly beneath your shoulders. And what we're gonna do here for these push-ups is elbows are gonna go back. So when we lower ourselves down, you want your elbows grazing against your ribs. So we're gonna slowly lower ourselves down and inhale as you lower down, tighten your core, and big exhale as you push up. So again, you want your elbows pointing back the whole time. Lower for 2, inhale as you exhale as you lift for 2. Inhale, lower for 2, exhale, lift for 2. For 4, and lift. 3, and lift. 2, and 1, and lift. Hold it here. We're going to turn our hands inward so that our fingers are facing each other now, not all the way in, but just sort of at that diagonal here, so that now our elbows can point out to the sides. We're going to lower down this way. So again, inhale as you lower, and exhale as you push yourself up. Lift yourself up again with your core. So you want to tighten your core, and big exhale as you push up. So lower, and out, exhale as you lift. Lower, and lift. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. And push back quickly. Stretch it out. You can walk your hands out in front of you to get a nice stretch on your arms again here. One more thing with our arms, and we're going to flip over into a seated position. And we're going to come into some tricep dips. So feet are going to be down, knees are bent. Hands, again, fingers are going to be pointing forward, and our elbows are going to be pointing back. And we're just going to lift our hips up off the mat a few inches. And we're going to lower down, bend those elbows back, and lift. Lower and lift. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lower it down. Shake out your arms. Pull those shoulders back. And then we're just going to finish it off with a few quick teasers as usual, and then we'll be done. So again, for the teaser, there's a few different options that you can take. You can either do it with one leg. So we're going to start off on our back here. You can leave one leg down. So you can keep the left knee bent at first, straighten the right leg out long. Legs are going to be pressed together. And then, of course, you'll switch in between and use the other leg. Or you can keep your legs up into tabletop here, or you can keep them out to 45 degrees. Either way, they're all going to be working, so whichever works the best for you. So we're going to start out, keep your legs up in that position, whichever one you choose. Arms are going to come overhead, and it's going to be similar to the roll-up that we did before, except we're going to be reaching toward our toes here. So arms are going to come overhead, bring them out around, and we're going to peel ourselves up into balancing on our sits bones. Reach towards your feet, sit up tall, lift your chest, and then slowly lower it all the way down, leaving your feet up in whichever position you are in. And we're just going to do 3 more of those. Now take a breath. Arms come back overhead, chin to chest. Exhale as you peel yourself up. Reach toward those toes, pause at the top. Lift your chest up. You can lift your arms up and lower it all the way down. If you have one leg down, switch which leg is up this time for the next 2. Inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale as you peel yourself up, reach toward those toes, lift your chest, and lower it down. And the last one here, arms overhead. Slowly exhale as you peel yourself up, reach toward those toes. Let's lift your arms up to the ceiling, lift your chest, and we'll hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower everything down. Arms come down, legs come down. Take a nice deep breath here. You can reach your arms out over behind you for a nice stretch. Elongate your body and just take a few breaths before we get into our stretches. Again, pull your knees into your chest. Feel that nice stretch. And take a few breaths here. Come up to seated. I'm going to come forward. Stretch your arms out long and legs out long to the sides in a V shape here. And we're just going to stretch over to the right, sink down toward that right foot. And then you can move forward, come to the center, stretch down as far down as you can here. Feel that nice stretch in your legs. I'm definitely going to need sunglasses if I ever just decide to teach outside again. It's really bright up here and it's getting hot. And then come over to the left side, sink down. Definitely, as always, recommend continuing to stretch even after the class if that feels good to you. We definitely had a lot of hip flexor work today, so whatever you need to do, definitely hydrate, especially if it's going to be very hot today. Come forward, cross your legs in front of you. One last thing here. Sink down onto that right arm, lower down that right elbow, and reach overhead. Feel that nice stretch on your left side. And switch over, lower down that left elbow, reach. Again, continue to do whatever feels good to you. I'm going to, as always, write my email down in the chat box. So feel free to send me an email if you have any questions or requests. But otherwise, thank you again for joining as always. I hope everyone has a great day and a great rest of your week. Yep, feel free to send me an email if you have any questions about modifications or just any requests or suggestions. Throughout the summer, I will be teaching at this time, always on Mondays, and then Saturdays from 4 to 5. So I'll hang out for a few minutes here if you have any questions. Otherwise, thanks. Have a great rest of your day. Okay, everybody's gone.